So we all know when people move into their homes, especially in Florida, we're limited for storage space. So what we do is we come in and help create storage space by maximizing what is currently available in their kitchens and their closets and other rooms. So a few of the things that we really pride ourselves on is communication with the customer, and our attention to detail is second to none. If you're looking to transform your kitchen, closet, or any other space in your home, give us a call or check out our website to book an appointment.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Gold Wingnut Live. I'm Don Wiley. I'm your host, and I'll be answering your questions today. Hey, Jim. Hello. How are you? Good to hear from you again. So, what does everybody want to talk about today? You know, there's a lot of things coming up. Well, first, let's talk about this weather. Oh my gosh. Yesterday, I went to the house and I cut the grass, and I thought I was going to drop. I mean, it was so hot. Wasn't bad playing golf, but man, cutting the grass, that was for the birds. But a lot happening in the coming week. We've got, they're doing an open house at Everglades, and it's going to be for the outdoor recreation areas. Good afternoon, Victoria. Thanks for joining us, Barry. So, where were we? Oh yeah, the Everglades outdoor recreation areas are going to be opening up very soon. They're doing some previews. I'm going to go do mine on Tuesday morning. Have a look around, see it from a close-up view instead of what I normally see. Oh man, the sales office is also getting ready to open up over in Everglades, or not Everglades, Olympia. So a lot happening. Of course, we got Costco getting ready to open, Target's getting ready to open in 2 weeks. You know, just things are going crazy. So John wants to know, what's the rumors about Tierra del Sol restaurant closing? Also, the theater. I haven't heard anything about the restaurant closing. Kind of always liked that restaurant. The theater, well, they've moved the shows from there over to Lake Sumter Landing, so something's up with that. Something is up with that, and we're not sure. Let's see. VS says, great to see you, Don. Hope you and Debbie are well. Yeah, Debbie's doing better. She's been sick for the last week, really. Made my life a little bit more challenging, her being ill, but it is what it is. She's doing better. We went out yesterday for the first time in a week, and went to Victory Family Sports Grill, had some appetizers and a couple of chocolate martinis, and we were in a very good mood when we got home. Anyway, so Jerry Bell wants to know, when is the new gym opening in Middleton? Any word? Not heard a word yet. They're not even touching the ground where it's supposed to go. Olympia Rec Center open house as well. Okay, I know that they're doing an open house. They said on phase 1, which phase 1 they had said early on was the outdoor recreation area. So that's going to be the ball fields and things like that. I think you mean Eastport. What did I say? Oh, Olympia, not Everglades. Yes, you're right. It is Olympia. It's not Everglades. Sorry. Too many things rattling around upstairs. Anyway, yeah, Olympia Rec Center. I don't know about the inside. I mean, there's still a lot of work happening in that area. Kevin, hey, hi, how are you? How are donations going for Thanksgiving for the firefighters? Linda, we've collected for the two sets for the two firefighters. About $2,000, a little over $2,000. Okay, so that's good. That'll cover a good portion of the Sumter County cost, and depending on, you know, we've had some corporate people help out before. Vinny over in Shady Brook, he works with Lowe's. Last year, Lowe's was extremely generous. They donated all the sodas and paper goods that we needed for all the fire stations, and they delivered them. It was great, and I want to thank you again, Vinny, if you're on. Normally Vinny's watching. We have some incredible people here in the villages, very generous. Frank says aloha equals hello, amigo, and love and compassion. Okay. Jerry wants to know about the new cell tower construction near Eastport. So nothing has, they cleared the ground for it. It's up for FCC approval. But as far as building it, it hasn't started yet. I don't see it starting for several months yet. But it's going to be a 225-foot tower. So that's a pretty tall cell tower. That's taller than most of them around here. But yeah, nothing's happened with it. It's not something I would be overly concerned about. Most of it, there's not a lot of houses around there. It's not Jeff Anderson, but the road that goes south from Jeff Anderson, there are a couple of houses down there by, which road is that? That's not Bar? Is that Bar? No, that's not Bar. Bexley. On Bexley Trail, there's a couple of houses that back up to it. But other than that, it's the golf course is there, and on the other side of the tower is going to be another golf course. So another championship golf course, another 27 holes, based on what I've seen. We are in it. So VS is Vinny. Thank you, Vinny. We're in it again. Thank you. So that's great. We have our sodas covered. That's always a big expense for us. Let's see. Hi, Don. Were you surprised to see the village's golf cars close at Magnolia Plaza, and do you think a restaurant will open in its place? Terry, I was surprised. Okay, I really was that it closed. I thought that was a great location. Obviously, there's a limited market. So the fact that it closed, yeah, it was surprising. Will a restaurant go in there? I have no idea what's planned for that. I haven't heard any rumors. All my usual sources, my usual suspects, have they haven't been able to provide any insight at all. So it is what it is at this point. What's going on with my camera here? I apologize. Hey, there we go. That looks better. For some reason it was blurry. All right, let's see. Yeah, now the new golf car store, I've been in it. It's really nice. It's very spacious. They got a great selection. Of course, they have the storage up on the top. That's a great benefit because unlike at Brownwood, where all the rental cars and everything are behind it, that takes up parking. And on some of the bigger events at Brownwood, that's an issue. Same thing over at Lake Sumter Landing. All right. Will says, you may have already covered this, but is there any conversation going on about property taxes going away for permanent residents in the villages? How is this going to affect? So it's still in the discussion phase at the state level. What will go away? Who knows? There has been no plan put out on what's going to happen, how they're going to do it, how things are going to be funded after they go away. Because we have all these state mandates that we have to fund, and they get funded through our property tax. State mandates that we provide a sheriff's department. Well, that gets funded through our property tax and so on. So if they take away our ability to fund it, either the services got to go away or, the money's got to come from someplace. If you think that somehow Tallahassee is going to make your tax bill go down, I think you're mistaken, because they're just going to replace it with a different tax. Hopefully it's not an increase in sales tax, because that hurts the people at the bottom, okay? you go in and you have to buy a new TV. Well, it's an extra, a couple $100. So that's an extra $20, $30 on a TV. If you're making $100,000, that's no big deal. But if you're living paycheck to paycheck, man, that hurts. And so it hurts. It's very regressive, and it hurts the people at the bottom the most. A sales tax. Similarly, property tax, decreases. I'm all in favor of reducing our property tax, but hey, if you're going to take away our revenue, you got to take away your mandates. That's my big thing. Let's see. That's the best I can tell you right now. I mean, until the state comes out with some information, because right now we're operating in an information vacuum on this. All they say is they want to get rid of property tax. Well, okay, but there's more to it than that. Jerry wants to know, are you going to Eastport preview days? Yes, I have Tuesday at 9 o'clock. I'm going to do my sneak preview at Eastport. And phase 1 of Olympia, yep, okay. Is the new driving range opening? I don't know, but that's a good question mark, because what I have seen is they have put up the construction fencing, that green fencing that you see right now along Bexley Trail for Eastport. They've installed that on the road that goes into or up to the driving range and the golf course starter shack, and they've blocked off the construction area for the hotel. That to me says it's coming very soon. They've done the similar thing with the opening of the sales office. They've put that same green fencing up there to keep you from going too far into the rest of the Eastport area. So we're going to see. But I think it's pretty likely it's going to open relatively soon. Both the driving range and the what's it called, Bel Air Executive Course. Is there an official? Yeah. Victoria wants to know, is there an official date Eastport is opening up the floodgates? No, nothing has been announced yet. Kevin says, Karen and I drove by a golf cart store today in Eastport. Really nice. Yeah, it is. Jim Papa. Hey, Jim. Good to hear from you again. To add concrete or pavers to our house, should we contract contractors or ARC first? Do we need to get our building site plans first? So get with your contractor, Jim. They're going to do up plans. If they need to pull permits, they'll be the ones responsible for that generally. And the other thing is they should be doing the ARC permit, okay? Now, Jim, where you live in CDD 15, they're not under the ARC yet, but the developer's representative performs the same job. And the reason they're not under the ARC is because everything is still under construction. After CDD 15 is completed construction, then they'll make that transition over to the ARC. But get with your contractor. You got to have a design. You got to present to the ARC. I'm just going to say ARC just for consistency's sake. And you need to submit your design as well as the request for the change, and it normally happens fairly quick. Within 2 weeks, you get word back whether it's approved or not. And it's been my experience watching for the last 10 years that at this stage, the developer, their representative, is pretty lenient on most things. I mean, case in point, this massive RV garage that you see over by the Water Lily Recreation Center. It's huge. It's hideous. It would have never passed ARC. But there you go. Let's see. John wants to know, where do you sign up for Eastport Preview? That's a good question. Let's see if we can find it. That's a real good question. Let's switch over to the web browser. Hopefully we got sound. All right. And hey, we even got sound today. All right, so let's go to the villages. We'll go to their main site here. I think they had it on here. And I got somebody from Wildwood calling me. I can't take calls today. Oh, where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Visit. I don't know where it's at. I know I got an email from them. I apologize. I didn't think to look that one up. But there was an email that was put out. Take a look around the village's website. You should see it there. Costco opens Wednesday at 8 a.m. Oh joy. Let's see. Eastport preview link, Jerry says. Yeah, I don't know where the link is. I apologize for that. But yeah, Costco opening up on Wednesday, that's great. And my understanding is that the night before they're having a preview. I'm not sure who that's open to though. I was in missed call, important message. No, must be another heat alert from Sumter County. That was the message. Let's see. Oh no, they're spraying for mosquitoes. There we go. I mean, Costco, let's face it, if you live in the southern part, okay, down, I mean, anywhere south of Magnolia Plaza, I know from Linden and all those villages south, it's quicker to go to the one on State Road 50, and then it'll be to go up to the one up north, just because of the drive time. I say that, no sooner will I say it, somebody will go down there and there'll be an accident on the turnpike, and the turnpike becomes a parking lot. No. So that's less likely to happen up at the new Costco location. All right. Let's see. Theo says, there were some eye-opening facts in the village's health reorganization plan. A big deal for patrons, but also a risk to the village's reputation. How is the $351 million Medicare issue paid off? Thoughts? You know, they're filing Chapter 11, which is debt restructuring. But beyond that, I'm not in the loop on what's happening. I am concerned. I am greatly concerned because Debbie and I have used Villages Health for the last 11 years and very happy with the service. If they get bought out by somebody else, the doctor-patient ratio, if it changes, because it's generally a lot lower than other doctors' offices, that's going to affect the level of service. And so that's what concerns me. Obviously, what insurance they take, that's always going to be a concern if they're bought out by this other company, Humana. But I don't have any insight, Another online website made a big deal out of how much people are getting paid and how much they pay in rent. And these are very specialized buildings. That's just going for shock factor. That's all it is. The realities are buildings are expensive to rent. Commercial properties, specialized commercial properties, are very expensive to rent. And executives make big wages. They make big decisions, tough decisions. Okay, so Sam wants to know, hi Don, in Pine Hills, we have a fenced-in yard. Is it okay to put up a shed? No. If you're going to put up a shed, you're going to find out real quick that it's not allowed. If you read your deed restrictions, I have yet to see a set of deed restrictions that allow putting up a shed. Does that mean I haven't seen it? No. If you're talking about one of the lawnmower sheds, the little, 2 foot by 5 foot by 4 foot tall, I have seen those in the backyards of people with courtyard villas. And no, it wasn't with the drone. I was actually back there. That's a whole different issue. Yeah. You're going to have to put it through the ARC, but you're probably not going to be able to do it. Linda E. says there's an accident right now on I-75 at 307 mile marker. Well, there's nothing new. Any updates on the cart crossing at Megason and Southern Oaks golf course? Unsafe. No, Terry, I haven't heard anything. That is in the hands of CDD 13. The county will work with them, but the county doesn't get involved with golf cart paths. It's not our prerogative. It's not our responsibility. So that is between CDD 13, the developer, and Project-Wide Advisory Committee on how that's going to happen. Let's see, Mark says, we have found that any lot near a preserve or marsh have an undesirable aroma, like a swamp. Wow, really? So a marsh smells like a swamp? Here's a clue. In Florida, they call a swamp an Everglades, a prairie, a marsh, a wetlands area. It's all swamp, okay? And you're always going to have that. We have a house that's on water, and occasionally, especially in the hot part of the afternoon, I'll smell a little odor, but it's generally not, in my opinion, offensive. I mean, really. Let's see. Then he says, I think you're absolutely right, Don. Humana is a huge corporation, and that is definitely going to look to optimize expense at the village's health. Yeah, I don't have any doubt. Matt Allen says, if we buy a veranda with a concrete wall in the back, can we paint some type of mural on it? I have seen it done, okay? If you have a veranda and it's in your backyard, it generally can't be seen from the street. Community standards cannot go into your backyard, but if you leave the gate open, then and it can be seen, then yeah, you're gonna have problems. But generally, I'm going to tell you the answer is going to be no, you can't. Hey, we got some insight here. Let me see. Tour Eastport. There it is. Hey, all right. Okay, thank you, Unschool. Let's go back to the web page. So yes, you're invited, and you can go in and, whoops, got to go to the right screen, Don. So they've still got some openings on the 6th, 7th, and 8th. And you can sign up there. Again, as Unschool put up there, it's thevillages.com/tour-eastport. Thank you for finding that. I'm kind of at a disadvantage looking for stuff because I'm trying to talk and think. Otherwise, you'd hear me mumbling to myself as I'm looking for stuff on the hard drive. All right. So let's see. So I don't know if you guys read some of the other online websites. There's a bunch of discussion, we'll call it that, at modernizing the gates. Now, people have different opinions on whether the gates have any value or not. Again, the big thing with the gates is trying to slow the traffic down and make it safer for golf carts and pedestrians to cross the major roads. And that's their function. The manned ones are there also to provide information, whether it's visitors. I'll tell you, I've stopped and asked when I've gone looking for something, and I'd forgotten my phone, so I didn't have GPS with me. In my truck didn't have GPS. It was a very basic company truck, but I would stop at the gate and say, okay, where the heck is this street? And they'd give me directions. So that was very useful. But, you know, the technology that's being used is called a proximity card or a prox card. That little card has a coil of wire and a little chip in it. And that card reader transmits a 900 megahertz signal, which generates a voltage, causes that little chip to transmit. There are other technologies. So this is the main thing that I made my living doing for 20 years, was installing high-end security systems. I worked the FedEx Forum. I worked the data center for the Internal Revenue Service in Memphis, Tennessee, massive facility. That's where they collect all the taxes. Things like that. Broward County Courthouse, Florida Turnpike. Put in a massive security system in Florida Turnpike when I first moved down here in '07. It took us 6 years, but that's different. That's a different story. These systems are not cheap, ladies and gentlemen. A typical door to put a card reader on and a lock is anywhere, depending on the door construction and the hardware, $2,000 to $4,000 a door. Okay, just the card reader is like $700. So if you look at the number of gates we have, that's a lot. That is a lot of readers of whatever type. And, you know, if you start using biometrics, I mean, those are $2,000 a pop. Granted, I'm thinking from before I retired, these are the numbers that we worked with. If you think that we're going to use something like the Turnpike uses, that ain't happening. Okay, those big panels that you see at the toll plazas, those are $30,000 a piece, and they have multiple ones of them. The whole technology is really really intricate, and there's a lot of tuning that goes along with each one. So we've got just the sheer number of gates. I mean, we're talking several $100,000 to do an upgrade like that. And then there's the credentials. You want to replace the card, okay? Because you don't like the card. Well, if you want to do barcode, that's fine. Barcodes are about $1 a piece. You can stick them on the window. The problem with, we called it rebadging, issuing new credentials, is it's very, very labor intensive. Just the nature of it, because you've got to record every one. Each one has its own unique number on it, so that the database can keep track of who you are and where you're going, or not so much where you're going, what gate you came through. So that's an interesting idea. We'll see what AAC and PWAC come up with. I'm probably going to go to that one just because I have a great interest in that, because again, that's what I did for many, many years. Have you heard it? So Rich wants to know, oh, thanks, Mark. Did you get the new truck yet? I haven't got it yet. Last update I got from the dealer was that it has gone through production. They were waiting on a part for the upfitting. I had a bunch of options added to it, and apparently at least one of those parts wasn't available yet for the 2026, so it's sitting out on a lot at the Ford dealer in Kentucky, or at the Ford factory in Kentucky. But as soon as they get that, it's supposed to ship. So we'll see what happens. Don, have you heard anything about Villages Grown being sold? Heard a rumor the business and property is being sold. Now, I haven't heard any rumors about that, but, you know, the whole process out there seems to have slowed down. When you go by there used to be, 15, 20 cars. There's not anymore. There's not that level of employees out there that there used to be. So, all the Villages Grown stores are now Provisions. That's a different company. I'm not seeing the lettuce and the tomatoes in Publix like I used to. I think their life is short-lived, and it would not be unreasonable if it does shut down that whole area there where it's at, and to the, which way would that be? To the west? Yeah, to the west, be turned into a bigger commercial area. But it's, other than that, I haven't heard anything, just personal observations. Just personal observations. All right. Victoria wants to know, in the upcoming new villages being built on your maps, have you noticed a lot of Waterview neighborhoods or mostly just normal neighborhoods? Hope that makes sense. So yeah, there is a lot of waterfront properties. I mean, obviously, most of the properties are going to be interior lots. It's just the nature of it. But these bigger retention ponds that they're building, I mean, some of these are huge. The one out that we have by the house in Moultrie Creek is like 3/4 of a mile long. It's big. If you look at the one by the high school, it's the north end of which is right there at the boathouse, and where they have the outdoor recreation stuff that you can rent, the golf carts and that. That's over a mile long. So these big retention ponds lead to lots of lots for waterfront and views. So I think we're seeing more of those, but there's still always going to be lots of interior lots. Vinny says, personally, I think the gate works well for its intended purpose. Your point, Don, the more advanced, the more expensive to install and maintain. Actually, the card reader system itself, or whatever technology they use for credentials, is really very low maintenance. I mean, there's system backups you got to do, and occasionally you do a flush and download of the panels just to make sure that there's no corruption of the data, and of course firmware updates, typical computer stuff. But otherwise, they're pretty. There's no moving parts. They're just computers. The place where you have expense is the gates. Those lift gates, when I used to buy them, they were about $4,000 a piece. They go up and down a lot. They're designed for it, but eventually they have issues. And if you have a loop damaged, there's pickup loops that are embedded in the asphalt. If one of those gets damaged, then you got headaches, because then you got to cut in new loops, and it's just a nightmare. But it is what it is. All right. Mark wants to know, is there another championship course planned south of 470? Yes. Okay. South of 470. Based on what I've seen in the drawings, and I showed this when I showed the tower drawings, gosh, a couple of months ago. There is a 27-hole golf course going in south of Southern Oaks. It's years away. It is years away, folks. So don't get excited, because right now they're working on CDD 16. Yeah, All right, so there's more. There's 4 executive courses coming in CDD 16. There's the Meadows Championship course that should start within the year. So there's still stuff coming. Let's see. Park roaming with Robbie. Technology needs to be updated. You should be able to load on your phone, possibly use to open gates like hotel rooms. In theory, yes. Okay, but it is not. Rolling out something like that is very intensive, and the problem you're going to have is somebody doesn't get the word that the gate is changing, they don't get the technology upgrade, and now they can't get through. Okay, now you have upset people, you have people running gates and damaging them. I've been through technology upgrades. It is challenging. It is, and it's a logistics nightmare. And being that this is a retirement community, right now, half the population, well, I don't want to say half, maybe 40% of the population isn't here right now. So if you're going to roll it out now, how do they get upgraded? There's a lot involved with something like that. Victoria says, thanks for answering everyone's questions and all the hard work. Hope Debbie feels better soon. Yeah, she is feeling better. And thank you for the donation, Victoria. So you know what? I was waiting for somebody to come up with that. So let's transition to a different camera. Let's see if I can make this work. You guys are going to get a preview of 158. This is 158. Let's show I apologize. Meant to turn off the sound on that. Sorry about that. Thank you for the heads up on that, Greg. So again, I'm going to let this play. There's no sound to it yet. Yeah. All right. So I should be back up now with the sound. My apologies. Can't hear you talking. Okay. It should be working by the time you got to understand. I'm seeing everything 30 seconds. Okay. You guys get delayed about 30 seconds from the time I actually say everything. Yeah, the music, yeah. Again, sorry about that. The soundtrack is not done on it. But all right. Yeah, I killed any audio. But there's this one really focusing on the new commercial properties that are opening up. Lots of things happening here in the villages. This next month, we're going to see, like I said, Costco next week. We're going to see Target open up the week after that. The sales office moving. They're going to be shutting down the sales office in Everglades and over at Sawgrass Grove. What else? Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot coming. Greg R. says, we all know the gates actually don't provide any security since anyone can just hit the red button anyway. They should just put the gates in construction mode so they open when you drive up. No. Honestly, you really want that slowed down. So it gives you a chance to get across some of these roads because some of them can get pretty busy. So right now I'm showing there's a gas station. that should be opening up very soon. I seen a gas truck up there the other day. I don't know if it's opened up or not. I haven't been there. We're going to do a quick flyover. This is the sales office coming up. And if you look real carefully, along the upper left corner, you see that green fence right there. That's where they fenced it off. So we're going to let that play in the background. I'll let you guys have a sneak preview of this. Watch the new home ones. You do. Thank you. Appreciate it, Benny. So anyway, lots of things happening. You know what? We need to take a quick break. I owe Scott his due. All right, the gas station is open, but the gas is more expensive than other non-ethanol sources. Always has been. Always has been. Any idea when LaGrange opening for lots? No, nothing yet. Let's do this though first real quick.
So we all know when people move into their homes, especially in Florida, we're limited for storage space. So what we do is we come in and help create storage space by maximizing what is currently available in their kitchens and their closets and other rooms. So a few of the things that we really pride ourselves on is communication with the customer, and our attention to detail is second to none. If you're looking to transform your kitchen, closet, or any other space in your home, give us a call or check out our website to book an appointment.
All right, we're back. Sorry, got to pay the bills, you know what I mean? All right, so yeah, these are some shots of inside the golf cart store. The last picture here was just a shocker. I'll give you just a second. Right there, $29,000 this is for a 4-forward golf cart. It's a refurbished 2023. I was just in shock at the price. I could not believe it. Let's see. Back to LaGrange. That question about LaGrange. Good question. I think what you're going to find is Edenfield will be done first. There's still quite a few lots in Edenfield up for sale. Then they'll move to LaGrange. And they'll probably move to the section just south of Edenfield first before they do the section over by the lake. And then, of course, Lakeview will be coming shortly after that. Let's see. Don wants to know, any idea when the lake will open up for dragon boats and walking path around the lake? No, haven't heard anything. We'll probably find out more next week, though, with this open house that they're doing. Let's see. Does anyone use the multi-purpose field? Seems like a lot more maintenance than it's worth. There's a lot of people that play soccer on it. A lot of different events happen out there. So yes, they are used quite frequently. Any idea when the lot on Megason and 44 will be developed? Megason and 44. Hang on, I got to think. Where's Megason and 44? No, that's just south of Brownwood. I have no idea. I haven't seen anything, heard anything. Commercial properties develop at a different rate, and if there's no demand, then no, they're not going to open. I mean, all you got to do is look at where Costco was built. That lot was open for years. And finally somebody decided to move in there, and that was Costco. So, when somebody decides that this is where they want to move their business to, that's when we'll see the construction. Let's see. Jim says, Don, did you get the new Costco membership and the deals for new members? No, I did not. I got a Costco membership last year when Debbie let me know that she did not want to live in our old house any longer. Too many bad memories with our son passing away there. I knew then that, okay, we got to do some things. So one of the things I knew we had to do was replace some of the appliances because she didn't like a side-by-side. She wanted a French door. Anyway, that's when I got a Costco membership because they have really great deals on appliances. And it worked out very well for us. But no, didn't get a new membership though. What county will Lakeview be in? Lakeview is in Sumter County. Everything is in Sumter County right now. There's no new construction as far as homes yet in Lake County. That won't happen again until they start into the Secret Promise property, and they haven't scraped a bit of dirt over there. So it's going to be a while. So it's going to be a few years before Lake County kicks up again. But right now, CDD 16 is in full swing. They're working on the southern part. The golf courses are starting to look good. You're going to see some footage of that southern area as we continue to play this video. Yeah. Where is, I'm just trying to, there, that's a little bit better. Now we can see the text. All right. Steve says, golf cart crossing at Southern Oaks is still dangerous. I made numerous calls, but I didn't get much interest. Saw the results of one accident, 724, but who cares? Well, I mean, again, this particular issue is in the hands of CDD 13 and the developer and project wide. It's not in the county's hands. The county doesn't get involved with multimodal and golf cart passes. So keep pinging on your CDD supervisors. They're the ones that need to make the decisions and see what can be done. I have my own ideas, but I'm not going to interject them anymore because that would be inappropriate based on my current position. Let's see, how old is Harry and the Natives footage in your video? About 2 weeks old. It was some of the newest stuff I shot, and I'm probably going to reshoot it tomorrow because I drove by there yesterday. Yeah, I think yesterday, and it looked a lot farther along. They're making quick progress. They're getting ready to open up apparently in August also. Costco gives, let's see. Mark says Costco gas gives great rebate with Visa card 5%. Okay. I will tell you, I am a huge follower of Dave Ramsey. If you don't know who he is, he teaches some money management philosophies based on biblical principles. And one of the big things is don't spend more than you make. I don't like credit cards. Do I have one? I absolutely do. It is a necessity in this modern age, but I pay it off every single month. My business credit card, it gets paid every day. I mean, if I charge gas yesterday and it shows up on a credit card today, I pay it. I don't carry balance. So having another credit card, not interested. Sorry. Let's see. Can you provide any details on the use of the LPR cameras installed at the gates? Oh, license plate reader cameras. Who has access to the data? For what purpose? Retention, images, metadata, etc. So I know Community Watch has access, and they give access to Sumter County Sheriff and Wildwood PD when there is an issue or an incident. As far as data retention and that, no idea. You would have to get a hold of the district office, and they could provide you with that information. Just go to the districtgov.org website, and you can ask your question there. Let's see. Oh, yeah, he says, I work for law enforcement jurisdiction in Maryland, and we have some extremely tight restrictions on license plate reader use. I'd say it's a little, from my experience, license plate reader technology is a little more loose here in Florida. I have seen it used extensively at airports, and obviously it's being used for all the toll collection throughout the state. If you don't have a SunPass, either Type 1 or Type 2 credentials in your car, they'll grab your license plate number, they'll send you a bill. And they from the license plate number, they access the DMV records and so on and so forth. So this is a week ago at Walmart, and it has changed tremendously. This is the 7-Eleven, by the way, over at 301 and Warm Springs. Things are happening pretty quick. But yeah, so yeah, the whole license plate reader thing, I had many questions about it when it was implemented also. I think it's underutilized, my personal opinion. But, you know, I don't know all the facts. So I'm just as guilty as many others with making suppositions. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? So, nobody got any questions. So I had a couple of emails. Let's see. This was from Randy, okay? It was he put it on Facebook last night. He says, "Hi Don, sorry for the use of Facebook to ask a question, but I might not be around for your Sunday show." Okay, this works. "I was down in Middleton lately and noticed the splash pads for the kids. Seems like a nice cool down area. It is. Then noticed a sign stating the water used is reclaimed water, and these signs state do not drink. If the water is used for kids and they tell them not to drink it, wouldn't that be a red flag to not have small kids even go into the area? I don't know, but if it's the same water used that makes the houses, excuse me, but if it's the same water used that makes the houses, walk, and driveways brown and discolored, that doesn't seem too safe for me. Any thoughts?" So, yeah. Walter, the small building behind 7-Eleven is a car wash, a drive-through car wash. So that the splash pads that they have in Middleton, it says reclaimed water. Yes, technically it is. Basically, the water that's sprayed up is recycled, okay? So unfortunately, if you have a little one that might not be able to control their bladder very well, it could get mixed in with that water, and therein lies the hazard. It's not the water though that we're using to water our yards and that. It's reclaimed. Otherwise, they'd be going through a ton of it. This is where a new grocery store is going in. This is the format for the grocery store. And in my opinion, based on this green area, which is the pharmacy, the green area at the bottom is going to be a liquor store, and then these areas are some very fancy parking aisles. The only company that builds a grocery store like this is Publix, and that's in Middleton. So I know I said it was going to be in Eastport. I was wrong. Don't let my wife see this video, please. I'll never hear the end of that one. But I was wrong. My source was not clear on the information, and I made some assumptions. Shame on me. I apologize. But you know, there's no other grocery stores around really building right now besides Publix. Winn-Dixie's going out. Certainly doesn't look like an Aldi. So, yeah. So, Jim, generally the older folks don't go in the splash area. All right. Let's see. Susan says, "I live in the village of Shady Brook. How does a resident find out about Eastport preview days and sign up for those? I combed the internet and there isn't, I haven't been able to find anything." So go to thevillages.com. Let me look at it here on my thevillages.com/tour-eastport. That's the website you'll want to go to, and you'll you'll be able to register for that. Let's see. Steve says on the splash pads, hoping they consider at least waist-high fence surrounding. A small one ran out in front of our car today. All was well, but the parent was mortified. Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be devastating. By the way, this is where the new fire station is at. This is the part of the area over in CDD 16 that's being built. That's Fire Station 49. It's a 4-bay fire station. It's a large one. And it's supposed to open up this fall, based on my conversations with some of the staff at the fire department. So, I mean, they even got the flag out, which is awesome. But as you can see, it's pretty much done. But yeah, back to what Steve was talking about. Obviously, there is a thing called personal responsibility, and the parents are responsible for the safety of their children. It's a pretty big run from where the splash pad is out to the road, but kids are pretty fast, yes. So again, I hope the parents are paying close attention to their kids, but I don't know that they'll put a fence up, because that's right next to where Portillo's is going. And when I drove by, we went for, as I said, chocolate martinis and some hors d'oeuvres yesterday to get Debbie out of the house for the first time in a week, and drove by Portillo's. They were doing staff training. I think Portillo's is, we're going to see it open up in the next 2 weeks. So that'll be interesting. That will definitely be interesting. Vinny says the villages build such beautiful fire stations. Love the investment. Yeah, they do a good job. So Victoria wants to know: will you be advertising the new pool company you mentioned a few weeks ago? At this point, no, I haven't heard back from them in a while. There are some issues I need to discuss with them, but at this point, no. William says hello from the village of LaBelle North. Nice area, LaBelle North. Are you on the golf course there? And if so, which one? Are you on Belle Glade, or are you on Volusia? Played both of those courses many times. Volusia more times than I want to think, but and lost a whole lot of golf balls out there. Anyway, let's see. The fire station they built on Morse was not built in the style of the others, basically a pole building. Okay, so William is on Seminole. Yeah, nice course. We'll talk about the one with all the sand traps. But you're right. The ones that you see that look really nice are basically, and I say this because there's always an exception to the rule, 46 is a very nice fire station, and it's built in the style of the rest of them. But those are all pretty much within the boundaries of the villages, 45, 44, 51, all of them are within the confines of the villages. 47 is not. That's the only reason I can think of. There was no need to make it look pretty. Okay? I guess, lack of a better term. So, yeah, Seminole Golf Course. There's a hole. I don't remember which one it is, but you're heading towards the landfill, it's uphill, you got to shoot over the water, and then there's like 7 sand traps right there in front of the green. It's like, okay, threading Swiss cheese with a golf ball. Good luck with that. All right. So right now, what are we looking at here? Oh, this is, yeah, we just looked at where that new tower was going. That is the road going across the screen just below the gauge at the top. That's Marsh Bend Trail. And, all right, that was some of the golf course areas of CDD 16. This is farther north. This is starting at Eastport. And this is the area that they're really doing a lot of infrastructure work on right now, the deep undergrounds. Yeah, on the 7th tee box, okay. Lots happening here. Of course, over on the top right now, that's where Edenfield is. Way up at the top of the screen is Eastport. So, anyway. So while this is playing, let's see. I got 2 very interesting ones. One was from Mark. He says, we moved into our new home in Shady Brook July 11th. I was prepared for all the unsolicited sales pitches, but one caught me off guard. During the courtesy visit with the HVAC contractor, he pitched a UV light air filter system for $2,250. Primary need for the system was to prevent mold in the HVAC unit. Being from the north, this was never an issue. How concerned should I be, and is there a more reasonable solution for this issue? In all social media I have consumed before moving here, not once have I heard of this being raised as a concern. Have your system cleaned annually. You know, there are a lot of different companies out there that will come out and clean them annually. This UV air filter thing, bunch of hype. Okay, I worked for Johnson Controls for 20 years. Most of my work was in security, but I did a lot of work with air conditioning, HVAC. In hospitals, we always had these UV systems, but for them to be effective, the air has to be passing through them continuously. The idea is to kill bacteria and viruses in the air. The problem with the home air conditioning system is it doesn't have sufficient volume, it doesn't have as high a turnover rate as commercial, and it shuts off when it's not needed. When it shuts off, okay, now you get if there's anything collecting in the air, it's going to continue to build up. They're ineffective, and they require a lot of cleaning. We had service contracts with our customers that we went in once a week and cleaned the UV filter systems. And these were really hazardous because of the UV light, and my guys had to take a lot of precautions when I ran my service department. All right, so that's that one. The other one, all right, oh, look, there's Eastport. What went blank? Oh, that's interesting. I got to figure out what happened there. This was one of the rough cuts I did on the video footage. Terry wants to know, will both Woodlands and Meadows golf courses have restaurants and or bars? So Woodlands, yes. I've been told that it will have a restaurant, probably a bar. As far as Meadows, I'm not sure. Obviously, nothing has been released on it. No permitting has been pulled or anything like that. So it's impossible to say. Anything I say would be an assumption. But I think it's a safe assumption to say that, yes, there's going to be a restaurant and a bar there. That's always been one of the many aspects of when they build a country club like that. All right. We're almost done with this video. It's still playing, but we still have the actual Eastport flyover. Let's see. East Coaster says, this show has now become more ads than show. Well, East Coaster, then stop watching. okay? The ads that are showing are part of this video. I have ads on the bottom and on the side. These are the people that support me to make this possible. It takes a lot of work, a lot of time, and I go through a lot of expense to put these shows together. For the first couple of years, I was losing money without my sponsors just because of the sheer expense, because YouTube doesn't pay worth beans. Let's see. Any good contractors that can do a driveway extension? Man, you know, I know a couple, but off the top of my head, I don't remember. I don't remember their names off the top of my head. I apologize. I have to go digging through some notes I have. Let's see. This is from Sid, and he said, this may be of interest in your next YouTube broadcast. Seco just started a pre-sale of installation of GenerLink transfer switches and cable for $1,200. This replaces the surge protector as well. We just moved from Jacksonville to the village's water's edge about 10 weeks ago. Had GenerLink and jacks, and they were very easy to use and can run the whole house using a big enough generator. You know, if you're gonna go through the expense of putting in a generator, which I have a portable generator that I use, but beyond that, I'm indifferent. But if you're gonna go through the expense of having a generator put in and you want to transfer switch, use the people that are going to install your generator. This is what they do. I think they'll do it for less money than Seco will do. T&D, yep. T&D does some of that stuff. Irrigation contractors, I need some adjustments. Man, you know, John, there are lots of them out there that do it. I mean, off the top of my head, I don't know if they do it or not. I just had them out doing some fence repairs for me, but Tri-County Landscaping is who I would call first to see if they do it. But there are a lot of different people that do it. I've got one guy's phone number in my phone. If you send me a quick email this evening, John, I'll try and look him up and let you know the information. But it has been several years since I've used them. But there are a lot of guys that do it. Yeah. All right. So, what do we got? We got about 6 more minutes on the video. And I'm out of stuff to talk about on my list. You know, if you guys have questions, now is the time. Otherwise, we'll call it a day because I have ribs to cook and I've got to get over to the house. It's been nice getting away from the apartment, but it's been good getting back to the apartment. Debbie being sick. I might as well have a 5-year-old with Debbie getting sick. She gets, let's just say, very whiny when she's sick. And she's been miserable. She went, and Monday she had a test, and she had a COVID test, and pop positive for COVID. So, and then she had a ruptured eardrum, so she was really not in a great mood all week. She was finally feeling better yesterday, so I took her out and got her a drink and some hors d'oeuvres, and she felt much better when she got back. Let's see. Jerry had irrigation guy on this channel. Okay. Enjoy the ribs. Thanks. Well, when do you think they will put gate arms back up at the well point entrance? I don't think they're going to put them up for a while, just because there's so much construction going on in Edenfield, and with that level of construction, they're better without. Otherwise, they're just going to get broken. Just the realities of it. So this is looking at Eastport. I think this is the last segment of it. There's only about 3 minutes left. But a lot happening there. They put in the kiddie playground area. I don't know who these people are walking around it. Please give us 30-minute more of ads. We love them. Okay. Thanks, East Coaster. Appreciate it. Write me a check. We'll talk about it. Anyway. Yeah, there is the Olympia Rec Center. That's the sales office. I don't know what the star is, but that's some waterfront seating area. If you rotate around, you get a good look at the covered area for the bandstand and that. This looks really nice. This is going to be a big area. And they got 2 beer or drink kiosks and the 2-story building right there. That's where Prime and Embers is going. Nope, I'm sorry, that's the hotel. Prime and Embers is back on the main road. My apologies. But yeah, that's the hotel. Their pool is coming along. And as we go out there, you can see, let me zoom in, and you can see the green fence that they've put up, and they've cleaned up the parking lot. This tells me you can see all the way up there. I think they're going to open it very soon. But we'll see. I mean, it's hard to predict sometimes what the Villages is going to do. Yeah. So then that is the village of Lakeview. And we'll take another pass back around and look at what else is going on. This is Sunset Island. It's been fun watching this go up. This whole area, Eastport, is going to be gorgeous. I can't wait for it to open. Florida's best sprinkler service. Okay, that's another good. Okay, yeah. So yeah, the color on this is a little bit rich because it was kind of washed out. I had to do some color adjustments because it was just it was too washed out. Let's see. I happen to use one of the best companies from his ads, so pretty thankful for the ads. All right, so what's going on here? There we go. All right, we're back. So that's over. Thought you might enjoy that. I had it queued up, waiting for somebody to say something. So after I cook ribs tonight, I'm going to go back and start doing voiceovers. But, you know, we are here at about 12 minutes after, so I think it's a pretty good time to call it a day. I want to thank everybody for joining me. It's been my pleasure to answer your questions. I look forward to meeting many of you as I spend much of my time here in the Villages. But as always, you know, enjoy life to the fullest. We're only here for a short time, and most of us here are. Yeah, this is the last quarter, folks. Play the game with for all it's worth. You know, until next week, have a great day. I'm Don Wiley. See you at Sunday.
So we all know when people move into their homes, especially in Florida, we're limited for storage space. So what we do is we come in and help create storage space by maximizing what is currently available in their kitchens and their closets and other rooms. So a few of the things that we really pride ourselves on is communication with the customer, and our attention to detail is second to none. If you're looking to transform your kitchen, closet, or any other space in your home, give us a call or check out our website to book an appointment.